There it is. Okay. Welcome to another episode of Coconut Connection Podcast. I'm your host, G. And G, your hair smells terrific.
And it looks terrific. And this is Jade, and I'm feeling good.
All right.
Not great, just good.
Just good.
Just good.
Not fantastic.
No.
All right. So let's just get into it. Let's start with our low and then we'll end on a high note. So what is your low?
My low, there were a few, but I think for right now, it's that I'm feeling a bit restless in terms of the job. I mean, I love it. But I feel like maybe this is a time when I can take my time and look at, do I want to do something different? Do I want to get into a different type of field? So it's a bit of rest. Yeah, it's a bit of restlessness in that regard.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I think I often think about that too, because I'm 25 years in and I've got about 13 more years to go.
Oof.
And it's like, what does life look like? Like, could I, because is this sustainable? Like, and you know me, like I have a lot of things going on. I know I need to kind of probably slow down on a lot of things. But the problem is that everything I do is important to me. Like I feel very passionate about, but but in terms of work, like, yeah, I have that question too. That's probably my low too.
Yeah.
Like, do I want to?
Or something's in the air. Something's in the air. I don't know.
I was like, can I just like, I don't know, hit the lotto?
Right? We play all the time. I'm telling you.
I don't play at all. So I can't complain. Like I don't even think about it, but I'm like, okay, could I invent something, write something, publish something that'll like be another stream of income? So
yes.
I don't know. I'm just gonna follow where my path is gonna go. Like I'm just open to I'm open to the things that could help me. So
me too. I think this might be our year though, G. I think, if we really just trust and believe in the universe and, put it out there, manifest, we can manifest. We're manifest generators. We can do this.
Yeah. I think you have to do a lot than just put it out. That's why I said, I'm like, well, if I'm putting it out there, just keep my ears open.
Yeah.
See what the possibilities could be. But I never wait for it to come to me. Like I'm just going to wait because no one's going to knock on my door. Like, hey, guess what? I have like a really fantastic job offer for you. I'm like, oh yeah. So I think it's like, I think I just keep doing what I'm doing until there's a opportunity, like, so that'll be my low too.
Okay. All right. We're
always questioning my path, my career path.
We'll figure it out. We always do. So what was your high? I'll
go with my high. My high would be that everybody knows on the podcast that I'm a teacher. So if you haven't been living under a rock and you've seen the news, there was a strike recently, and I will say that it was victorious, and teachers supported. It wasn't our strike; it was to support another union strike, and it was for the greater good, and it was for a righteous cause. And I will say that these workers, half of them are either LAUSD parents or LAUSD grandparents. And so with that said, it's like once, you uplift the community, you uplift everything else. It's kind of like, what is that saying about the waters rising? It lifts everything up.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that. And hopefully, it has positive change, and I'm really happy about that. So I'm going to enjoy it for the day until I have to go into battle again.
Yeah. it's always a fight, like we talked about, it's never over for you guys. I mean,
Mm.
they don't give you guys
And that's what it
enough.
makes me tired. Like, I don't know how long I could do this. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, like we already have a teacher shortage, and there's a reason why we have a teacher shortage. It's because it's a hard job to do. Like, nobody wants to stay in this where you you can't even afford to buy a house, or you can't, the stress level is so high and the expectation is so high. And
Mm.
depending on what kind of situation you have in your classroom, like I know some teachers get physically harmed. um it's just a different climate than say 25 years ago or even
Mhm.
30 years ago. Of the profession is so different
It
now.
totally is.
And now you have social media, and you know um you don't know what people are doing with their phones, um and where you're gonna use that video. Like, it's like
Yes.
it's a different, if it's a different thing, and it's like people can also always twist and turn like the context of what's happening in
And
that.
they do.
Yeah.
And they do, especially the people at top who have all the media presence and they're able to get on TV and they just
Mhm.
spin it the way they want.
I mean, did you hear about that principal that got fired? And I don't know,
No.
maybe your parents, or maybe you have an opinion, but the principal got fired. This person was, I guess, teaching something that was related to the David statue. The David statue, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And so, and there were usually you would like put out like a warning to parents, like, I'm going to be showing this. Okay. Somehow, somewhere that was miscommunicated, and parents come like were upset and got that principal fired.
Wow.
So it's like, I don't know what state it was in. I almost want to say it was Florida, but it's like I just don't understand it. Like they're also into banning books too. So it's like,
There's a lot going on
but
in
my
that
thing is this,
whole.
okay, so I don't know. I have my own, like, for example, like banning books. Like they're banning like the Rosa Parks story and Ruby Bridges, and you know what I mean?
That's
But then
wild.
yet then you should put the Bible on there too, because the Bible has a lot of interesting things there too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh like a lot of that have to do with sex. So I don't understand why that's not on the ban list, Um I remember, and I can say this because I was, I born and raised a Catholic, went to Catholic school from first grade to 12th grade. So when people talk to me about the Bible, like I'm just like, yeah, there was when growing, like there were certain things, if you're reading, especially in the Old Testament, I'm like, what is going on here? Like, I don't
Yeah.
understand it, but there's something weird going on. So there's a lot of weird things on there, that like people like, okay, so you're gonna ban Ruby Bridges and Rosa Parks story, but yet, you know, um, you're gonna talk about this book that has a lot of inappropriate things that are not
Yeah.
for kids, and that as well. So um that is really a small issue. Like,
Yeah.
have you seen the David statue? It's nothing, it's not like Magic Mike or anything.
And it's art,
And
but it's a slippery slope to be
because we go to
going
museums
down.
and there's statues, there's
Yes.
new statues.
Yes.
Granted, I don't walk through them because whatever the kids are gonna. I usually have little kids. The last time I went to the Getty, but it is art. Yeah, it's out there. It's out there, and it's they're not. It's a statue. It's not like, because they called it pornographic,
Oh my goodness.
but they're not. He's not doing anything. He's just standing there
This
naked.
is a very slippery slope to go down. We start banning this, start firing people over this. I mean, I feel like we are going back in time. Like our progress, all the progress we made is just
Mm,
going away,
yeah.
just as it's, but we're here to talk about highs, highs.
Yep.
But that's, you know, I'm glad you're holding on to that one sliver of feeling good
Yeah, I
about it.
have
You
to.
know, you
I
do.
have
Yeah.
to.
Mine is and you probably saw it too, but we recently saw John Wick
Yeah.
4.
We're gonna see it today at
Oh,
2.
I can't wait to hear what you think about it. It
Mm.
just,
Oh, I know I'm probably gonna like it because I like all the John Wick
yeah,
movies. I don't
me
like the Fast
too.
and the Furious. Like
Yes,
go in there,
exactly.
you're not there for like anything deep. You're just there for all the violence and stuff. So it's like
Yes.
so
So I
that's.
won't talk about it here because I definitely want to talk
I'm
to you
surprised you
about it
like that because
separate.
you don't like violence.
Oh no, but it's so good. I was
Hey,
smiling from
you can
beginning to
never
end.
say I don't like violent things. It
Well,
triggers me. Like, oh
certain
no.
violence, like I like when you're shooting people, bad guys. I think that's great, you know.
Creed is like a realistic violence.
You know what? I would watch it
See,
for I would
so
watch
you
it for
can
the
never
plot.
say
I'm gonna watch it for the plot.
I don't like violence.
Oh, okay. Yes, but it was very happy. I had a great time in
Or
the
like
theater.
you'll never watch Parasite because there's so much violence.
No, you know
There's
what?
not any hardly
It's
any
no violence.
violence. In that.
I think now that I know that Parasite like
Mm,
was built on, I can watch it. I thought it was like
forget it. It's
that
already old.
tension. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
already
Well,
old
okay.
already. I was like, I thought it's a Korean movie. I thought you would enjoy that.
What about, have you seen that new movie? It's the Exorcist of the Pope or something, or the Pope's Exorcist. Oh, you'll see
Mm.
the the trailer when you go to the movie. But I'm just like, oh, I wonder if G's gonna watch that because it looks like something you might like.
We like if when I had more time, I would always, but we haven't gone to the movies like as much as we used to. Just haven't had time. Like I choose sleep. I choose rest over because then what I'll do is I'll go to the movie theater and I'll just fall asleep.
Yeah.
And Johnny too. So that's why I was like, okay, because we tried to go to the movies yesterday and he's just too tired. And yeah, and we always want to see it like either on IMAX or Dolby, and it's all like booked. Everything
Yeah.
was booked up. So we're like, let's just watch it. I think I don't know where are we gonna watch it? I forgot.
The regular theater.
Is it IMAX or is it now our thing is Dolby, like Dolby in the
Oh.
recliner seats at Glendora. It's like, oh, nice. It's so nice, but it's
Oh.
already booked. Like, cause there's
Yes.
less seats in those because they're all like, and you don't want to sit right next to somebody, like, so, so yeah, we're going to watch that today.
It was, yeah. So you're gonna have a good time for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah, I know. All right. So today's segment is about lyrics. And it came upon me as I was just listening to music and like I'm like, "Ooh, I really like this song." And then I had to stop because I was like, I don't like that part. and it was well, my favorite song is Poison. And so
Oh
like and it
yes.
always gets me pumped up. I have it on several playlists on Spotify. It's on my motivational playlist. It's on my strike play. No, I don't think it's on my strike playlist. It's on my back in the days playlist. It's like, but like recently I was like, you know, whatever, singing along. And then I stopped. I'm like, oh, I don't like that part. And
Oh.
then Johnny's like, I thought it was your favorite song. And I'm like, it still is, but I feel like I don't want to say that part. And it's that part that he says, me and the crew used to do her. It's kind of
Ah,
creepy to me.
yes.
I was like, I can't
Yes.
celebrate that. I mean, of course, she's a willing participant, but I can't. Like, I was just like, I don't know. You're saying she's poison, like fine, whatever. She's poison because she's hot, right? But then
Yes.
now you're saying everybody's like but she's like he's like it's that whole thing about that it's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, right? Like you could be
Yeah.
really pretty, curvy, all that. But then like once you sleep with somebody, it's like now you're a slut. Like
Yeah.
now you're or you don't want to sleep with that person. Now you're a bitch. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, yeah, I just don't like that part. But that's where it came out. Like then I started to do some research about like not necessarily like songs that I liked per se, because most of the songs that I like are still hold up, but just songs in general, like because
Yeah.
I'm a big music person, so I thought let's look at that. So like I was thinking like Well, the 90s, the 90s hip hop rap, which I was very much into. I mean, it's all about that toxic masculinity and misogyny and all that stuff. So it's like, where do you find the common ground? Because you're like, oh, I love this song, but it's so wrong.
You just look away. You just look away.
Like,
That's good.
like DMX songs, like I couldn't even write it because I was like, dude, I can't say that. Like I was like, it's like, oh yeah, I can't, it's like a great beat, but like, oh no, like it's just talking about a whole bunch of, shit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it came, our my music was like bitches and hoes, right? Everybody's just bitches and hoes. But the thing is, I kind of resolved it in my head that they're not talking about me because I'm not a bitch or a hoe. And none of my friends called me a bitch or a hoe. And not even in jest or, so I was like, that's not me. So I guess, yeah, they're very much like misogynistic, but I'm like,
Yeah.
not talking about me.
Yeah.
But a lot of the like I said, I started researching and looking up stuff that were like current, and I'm like, oh no, I couldn't. That these are really bad, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna mention those. So what
But
I
even
did
old
was
ones too.
I
like,
mentioned, yeah, I looked in the background, like I was like, I'm not gonna talk about, because there's a lot, but so I will start with like with lyrics that songs that I never liked, but I warmed up. I was like, I'm getting warmed up. So I'm just like, so I never liked this song, Baby It's Cold Outside.
Oh my God, that's on the number one thing on mine too. I loved it though, because I love that song.
And I was like, why can't she go home? And like I was just like,
yeah.
But now it's so funny how like decades later, like since the Me Too movement,
Yeah.
it's like they still play it though. They still play it. I still hear it every Christmas, but yeah, it's like, she talking about, I really can't stay. What's in this drink? I said the answer is no.
And you know what's funny? Like, yes, you don't realize that because, when we were younger, it's like, oh, it's a kid song. And for me, like, I always felt it was cute and it was playful because it was banter. It was like, she really was kind of like, because she did want to stay, but, she kind of was flirting with him. But as if I'm looking at the song, kind of objectively, I see how that could be a woman could be what if she's in a position where she's only acquiescing, because she feels forced, right? She feels like, oh my God, this guy is just not giving up. He's not, I'm never going to get out of here. I might as well just stay, so I can kind of see both sides of that.
No, both sides. It's creepy. Like I'm just thinking about the one guy that asked me for a hug, and I gave him a hug because I just wanted to end.
Yes.
So it's like, this is the problems that we have. I guess that's why. Yeah. I guess I just didn't like it just, not just the lyrics, but I just didn't care for it. Like, just like, just the musicality of it. It's fine, but I mean, not fine. I just didn't really it's just not my favorite, but I just find it interesting that recently people started saying that it was date raping. But I was always like, yeah, date rape song, like for sure.
Yeah.
And we just like, I just want to go home,
Yeah.
So some of these will be, interesting. So I just went for I'm going for the very obvious ones. This one was in the 80s. So some of these songs are like old. Turning Japanese by the Vapors.
Yes.
This is very racist. And white people are singing it. So they said they're turning Japanese. But you know what that term means?
No, actually, I don't. I don't know I didn't know there was a term, but as a kid, I used to like that song.
I don't know why they're saying why would white people say they're turning Japanese?
I never thought of it, girl. What could it mean? Are they turning like, well, I know the song is no drugs, no wine, no women, no fun. It's like they're boring. Is it because they're turning? I'm just going by the song, what it's saying in the song.
From what I heard, and I could get it wrong. You might be better at it, but it's you're turning Japanese when you're climaxing.
What? I would not. I did not. No, that is not what no. Wait, is it? But what's the reason? Is it because of the face you make? I don't know. Like, I can't imagine what.
Yes, face you make.
Oh my God, that's horrible. I used to sing that as a kid. I used to sing this song as a child. Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Yes. That one didn't have any curse words in it, but that's, yeah.
That's horrible. Just wow. That just opened my eyes there. Woo,
I was just warming up. I guess I should have left that to the end, but
that was a big
of course,
one.
blurred lines is an easy one, right? Blurred
Oh,
lines.
yes.
That's the current date rape,
Ugh,
song. It's a shame because it's a good beat.
it is. It's because they're using that other beat underneath
Yeah,
it, right? Yes.
beat.
They got sued for.
So you want to hug me? What rhymes with hug me? I hate these blurred lines. I know you want it.
And because it's so catchy, you're just like, I know you want it.
He's good looking. Like it kind of like you're missing the message. Like you're like, I'm missing.
Ooh, God. Ooh, that's a good one. Good one.
Okay, so this one I never really liked the song because of what it's about. "Cater to You" by Destiny's Child. So
I don't know that one.
I will read the lyrics because I had to look it up because I just didn't like the word "I'm gonna cater to you." Like I just feel like no, like let me help you take off your shoes, untie your shoestrings, take off your cufflinks. What do you want to eat, boo? Let me feed you. Let me run your bath water. I'm like,
are we in the
you should be
50s
doing that for me.
Are we in the 50s? This Andrew Tate thing? What is this? Like, this is the days.
Whatever you desire, I'll supply you. Sing you a song. Turn your game on. I'll brush your hair. Help you put your do-rag on. Want a foot rub. Want a manicure. Like, wait a minute. I'm supposed to be getting all these. Baby, I'm yours. I want to cater to you, boy. Let me cater to you because, baby, this is your day. Do anything for my man. Baby, you blow me away. I got your, okay, this is the part that gets me. I got your slippers. Am I a dog? Your dinner. Anything you want. Yeah, and then she says, I got your slipper. She says, I got your slippers a couple times. I'm like, no.
I've never heard that song. And
yeah.
I probably
It's
wouldn't
not
have liked it.
it's not a famous Destiny's Child song, but it's called "Cater to You."
Ew, no.
Yeah.
All
right.
Wow.
So our one of our favorite musicals has a lot of problematic lyrics in it.
Okay, let me see if it's the one that's on my list. Go ahead. Which one was it?
Grease.
Oh yes, that's on my list.
Mhm.
And because they sing it so happily and it's such a catchy like tune, you don't like hear the mess. Like you should just kind of like forget what they're talking about.
And let's see, there was one, and we did something on Grease Lightning, like
yes,
for the students, like the dance to Grease Lightning, and the principal was John Travolta. But it's like, we didn't have an edited version. Like, these are the words. You are supreme. The chicks will cream for Grease Lightning. And the other one is, you know that I ain't bragging. She's a real pussy wagon.
I did not hear that lyric. That's on Grease Lightning?
Yes. They're all going to use this car to get chicks.
I did not hear that lyric. When did they say that?
It's in there, in that car. Which is typical of boys, but
Yes.
you're seeing School Musical. Like,
I did not hear that line in that song. Yes, the first one.
Yeah.
Or what about Summer Nights, right?
Yeah, Summer Nights. Yeah.
Did she put up a fight? I mean, I did not even just goes right over because I'm like,
that one I knew that for sure because it was the whole point of telling the stories, right? Two stories. The two different narratives of the women and the men. And so I'm like, yeah, did she put it like they having that like,
it's very like sexual energy and like the girls are romantic. It's like, oh, and the guys are like, what did you like? How good was it?
Or did you have to force her?
Yeah.
To rape her, basically. Like, was it hard to get it?
Man.
Did you have anything else from?
I have, what about, that song, Into the Night by Benny Mardones? So when it goes,
No.
she's just 16 years old.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Leave her.
Yeah.
Right? And then when you hear it, you're like, when you're young, you think,
That
oh
does
my
give
God,
me
that's
creepiness. You know why? Because I think it came from Ridgemont High.
Did it?
I think it was one of it, and I just remember because one of the characters, got
Yes,
date
that,
raped. So that's why
yes.
whenever I hear that song, I think of that scene.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, I don't remember that song to that scene because I did watch Ridgemont High, but it's because
Yeah,
they say,
there was no music to that scene.
okay.
He was
Okay.
getting,
Okay.
he was getting date raped.
Oh, okay. I was like, okay, yeah,
No,
that
but
makes sense.
I think they played either that song or something similar in the movie. So every time I hear that song, I think of that scene.
It's just crazy. I think when I was younger, you romanticize it, right? I romanticized it like, oh my God, this man like finds me like who would be underage, like attractive and whatnot. And it actually was inspired by his platonic relationship with a teenage neighbor of his whose father had left her behind, kind of like left her. And I'm like, but that song is pretty. No, anything with underage, no. And then
they that could not get away with that. But now,
no, I don't even think they play that anymore. So yeah, I don't think they do.
Yeah, no, I hear it like on Coast or whatever,
Oh, do you? Okay, because I haven't heard it yet. But the other one, a sister one to that, is Wingers 17. Because I
Yeah.
used to be in. Okay, yeah, that one. That whole. She's only 17. Daddy says she's too young, but she's old enough for me.
And did you read like his explanation? The guy.
No, what was his
So
explanation?
he said, he didn't know at that time that 17 was underage.
What state was he living in? I don't know.
I'm like, it's not the 50s, it's like the 80s. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, Mr. Winger guy. All right. Well, on that, theme, I will mention, this song, for just one moment to be bold and naked at your side. Sometimes I think that you'll never understand me. I will be your father figure. Put your tiny hand in mine.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That's all I wanted, but sometimes love can be mistaken for a crime.
Oh my gosh. I did not even, and I love that song.
Father Figure by George Michael.
Whoa. That does sound pretty.
We all sang that song.
Yeah, we did. With our whole chest. With our whole chest.
Yeah, I have all these things.
That's crazy.
Don't Stand So Close to Me by Police.
Yes,
So
is that
it's
the one
about
that's raining?
it's about
Yes.
like a teacher and a student.
Mm-hmm. And he sees her at a bus stop. Is that the one?
Yeah, temptation and frustration so bad it makes him cry. Wet bus stop, she's waiting. His car is warm and dry. You know how it is to be at bus stops. Okay, that's real.
But as a youngster, you hear the song and you're like, wow, this teacher totally has the hospital. Because who didn't?
Yeah. It's like I said, it's romanticized. It's romanticized. Yes. But I do actually like that song too. I love Police songs. But yeah, that one's a creepy one though.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I'm just like, oh, I know it's about a teacher and a student, and I can't be playing it. Like, I can't co-sign on that. But it's a great song. Just sucks as their lyrics.
Yeah, when my daughter heard the lyrics, she's like, ew. Because I love to sing that part very clear. And she's just like, ew, that's just gross.
Yeah, like great melody, great music. Like, your lyrics are creepy. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Let's see. Tonight's the Night by Rod Stewart.
Oh, yeah. But weren't they kind of, well, I saw it like they were married and
no. Okay. So the video, it's like a young girl.
No.
Yeah. So even the video is problematic. So this is the lyrics. Loosen off that pretty French gown. Let me pour you a good long drink. Ooh, baby, don't you hesitate, because tonight's the night. Don't deny your man's desire. You'd be a fool to stop this tide. Spread your wings and let me come inside.
Oh my God. When you
Don't
say
say a
it
word.
like that,
Remember, don't say a word, my virgin child. Just let your inhibitions run wild. So this is someone losing their virginity.
oh my, I'm thinking it's, they're married. She's a virgin. Yes, but
So
whoa,
I guess
like,
in the video, I was reading, it's like, there's the woman in the video is faceless. Like you don't ever see her face.
yeah.
He leads her up to his bedroom and she says in French, I'm a little scared. What is my mother going to say? Yeah.
Great. What timeline have I been living in? Because this is crazy. I don't believe this. I have to listen to this.
Yeah. I know we should put a playlist on Spotify, like all the things you should be listening to. Do you have anything on your list?
No, that was that.
Okay. Okay. Let me keep going then. With the theme, age ain't nothing but a number by Aaliyah.
Oh, that has not aged.
So of course
very
that's
well.
like
No.
now that you know
That
R.
is not
Kelly and her marrying.
Sure. That's like the
14.
that's why when I hear Your Body's Calling for Me, I used to love that song, but then you're like, singing that for the little ones. Oh no.
I know.
No.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, now that you know that when she recorded it, she was only 14 years old and she was also dating and soon to marry her producer, R. Kelly, who was 27.
Which is why he's in jail now.
Yeah.
I mean, for more things than that, but
okay, so this song we is one of those things where we have to sing a holiday song, for the holiday program. And so I was working with a teacher that is kind of sometimes very opinionated, and I was like, okay, you pick. Why don't you pick, right? And so she picked "Do They Know It's Christmas" by Band-Aid.
Oh, that I did see that. Like, yeah,
and it's like, ugh, gosh.
And you don't realize because these songs
I had to
when we were young.
Why this song was, because it's kind of like the songs are kind of weird if you don't know, like, what was going on at the time with USA Africa and Band-Aid and stuff like that. So there's like a line that says, "There won't be snow in Africa this Christmas time. The greatest gift they'll get this year is life. Where nothing ever grows, no rain or rivers flow. Do they know it's Christmas time at all?" Yeah, it's kind of
like their intention. This is their intention was good,
was
but
nice,
then it
but
was
that lyric.
They didn't do a good thing.
They didn't do a good job on that. Like kind of like
that's very sad. Yeah, that was. I remember that song, that whole movement. I remember that whole thing. And no.
Okay, so then I was thinking about like, all the TV show theme songs that we like and stuff.
Oh, okay.
I was like, let me go check to see if those were appropriate. I was like, the Facts of Life and like different strokes and all that.
Yeah.
Thankfully, most of them were positive. Like,
okay.
Laverne and Shirley, love that. Like, that's such an empowering like song, like
Jefferson's.
So Good Times.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That's all we've talked about this. Like, I still don't, it's such a great song. You want to sing it.
Yes, it's positive,
it's like, but I don't get it.
Anytime you miss a payment, good times. Every time you need a friend, good times. Not getting hassled, not getting hustled. I think that's the point.
It's very satirical, like sarcastic, right?
Yes.
But it's singing so joyfully. So I wouldn't say it's politically incorrect. I just think it's like, it's satirical. Like there was a lot of shows at that time, like All in the Family, that was making comments about racism and prejudice, but doing it in a satirical way, like flipping it, right? So
I think it's to have good times, even though all these bad things are happening. But then it's like we shouldn't like make it like agreed.
Make it great. Right?
Agreed, because it was, when you watch that show now, you're like, whoa, this is not like this is back in that time. They're like what's the word I'm looking for? Not that they were really showing like, oh, this is what happens to people of color, but hey, they're enjoying it. They're surviving. They're being oppressed and they're poor. Hey, they're having a great time. No.
So that last chorus, right? Temporary layoffs, good times.
Yes.
Easy credit riff-offs, good times.
Yeah.
Scratching and surviving, good times.
It
Hanging in the
was
cow line, good times.
yes.
And ain't we
Yes.
lucky we got him, good times.
Yeah. It was satirical. Definitely, it had to be. 'Cause
Very
there's no
satirical,
way.
yeah. So I
No
wouldn't say it's
way.
completely incorrect, but it's such a upbeat song that it's like when you break it down to the lyrics, you're like, yeah, it's like we should be just like happy, even though we're
Yeah, even though we
oppressed.
have crap, even though we're
Yeah,
being
we're just kind of
oppressed and
you
held
know,
down
like
by the
those people are
man.
always so happy, you know. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, like yeah. I was just I just thought that was interesting.
That's a
But
good one, G. That's a good
all
one.
I know all the songs that I was like, okay, they're all like pretty, pretty, tame. So the last thing I would say is it's not a lyric or anything like that, but what is your idea about R. Kelly and Michael Jackson? Or I put in my notes R. Kelly versus Michael Jackson, because there's this debate going on. Like,
This one's tough because we
Chris
have
Rock brought it up. Chris Rock just had a live
uh
comedy special, and he talks about how can you be mad at R. Kelly but not be mad at Michael Jackson. So that his whole thing was about being selective rage, because he was saying how Will Smith, with the slap and everything, it's like everybody was making fun of him and calling him like weak and all that stuff, but he selectively got enraged with Chris Rock, even though he didn't slap everybody. You know what I mean? That said anything to him.
yeah.
He specifically just got mad at him, even though there was a lot of people that he should have been more mad at, because he was like, alopecia, that's like not even a big one, like people were saying out there in the streets that, he was humiliated by his wife in public, right? So he was just like, it's your wife. You should be enraged now.
Yeah.
But like, so he brought up that, and I'm like, that's true. R. Kelly versus Michael Jackson. Should you bump all their stuff? Like, still, can you separate the music from the man?
Yes. No, this is a good question, because this is something that we've talked about in the office and we've talked about together, and what me and my daughter talk about. And yes, the things they've done, that's hard. And this is my opinion, and I apologize.
It's good music.
It is. It's like, so what I say, and I'm not saying that it's right, is I think what they've done is not correct and what they've done is wrong. But what I do is I separate the man from the music. And I know people say, you can't do that. And should they be getting royalties? I'm talking about like R. Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Should he be getting royalties for what he did? But what's hard is like the music, there's a memory that comes with the music. There's a feeling that you associate with the music. And I don't associate with the man. I associate it with the song. So it's very hard for me.
It is hard. And it's because it's good music. If it was crappy music, it would be no brainer.
Yes. Yes.
It's good music. Like, I Believe I Can Fly. Like,
yes.
Step in the Name of Love.
Yes.
Like,
oh my God.
Really
oh my God. Contagious with the eyes, like with the Isley Brothers, and like, just like, how do you,
yeah.
And I do like Your Body's Calling for me. I can't help it.
Yeah, it's so catchy. Like,
yes.
Yeah, that's problematic. It's problematic. Like, especially with R. Kelly, because we know that he's in jail,
Yes.
And Michael Jackson,
and the reason he's there.
It was never proven. So that's how I kind of resolved myself with Michael Jackson. I'm like, well, it wasn't proven, like, but then OJ Simpson was also not proven guilty.
Right. Now him,
there's two different things. They actually killed people,
Yes.
Allegedly.
And I don't like sports, and he doesn't do music. So it's easy for me to like put him on that list of,
I mean, although some people were like, hey, separate the sports athlete guy from the
actor. Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
So anyway, I wanted to end on that because I just thought, like, with their songs are so good And not necessarily, I mean, I guess if you really delve into like R. Kelly's lyrics, you'll be like, oh, I can see something in that one. But the
Yes.
most famous ones are really good, like
Yeah. Step in the name of love. Come on. Like it
Love in
want
the
to hit
Name
you.
of Love. It's like,
Just come
man, it's just
on.
such a happy song.
And I know
I know you love.
that is somebody's.
Yeah. All righty.
So, what do you think of this episode? What are your guilty pleasure songs? What do you want G and I to talk story about? Leave us a message or comment on our social media. If you listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please rate us so we can receive more visibility and grow our audience. We would love to hear from you. You can leave a comment on our social media pages like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Search for The Coconut Connection. Our handles are in the show's notes. Or you can email us at thecoconutconnection, the number 2, at gmail.com. And let me apologize, that's coconutconnection, the number 2, at gmail.com.
All right. So we're going to segue into Jade Explore segment.
Yes, yes. So I'm gonna put the video up probably soon, but like it's just been a busy week. But yes, so this this exploration, I did sewing.
Mhm.
And I remember, what was your story, G, about? Was it high school or junior high? I can't remember. You took a class.
Yeah.
And did you have there was a bad experience, right?
Yeah, I had a bad experience. Like I was
Yeah, what
making
was that? What was
I was
it?
making a like, but we just jumped into like pattern. Like it was like
Okay, wow.
it was the 80s, so it was like a tank top dress. It also gathered as well too.
Okay. Wow.
Why would you let somebody do that?
Who
So like
doesn't know
everybody,
anything? Yeah.
yeah, my cousin took it with me and she made like 2 dresses. Like I was like,
Wow.
she wore them actually. And so in true fashion, I went ahead and I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna sew this. And then I ended up sewing like the whole neck hole together. And like the guy that was teaching is like, yeah, like, yeah, no. Like so then I tried again in college.
Oh,
Like hoodies. Me and my friend were gonna, back then it was like crisscross. So we were gonna
yeah.
have like sort of like crisscross, but we were gonna use olive colors, like neutral colors, not loud ones. And like I couldn't even get the hood. Like it was so hard to make a hood. And I was like, that was the third time. The second time. So the third time was a charm. I actually went to another place and
Okay.
just learned basics. And I was like, and that's how I started sewing. Yeah.
I think the teacher makes the difference,
Oh yeah.
right? Like, yeah, yeah. So
Also
that,
what they ask you to sew, like, like
oh,
that was not
true,
appropriate for like a kid that's never sewed before, like a tank top dress that has
true.
gathering and elastic. Like what
Yeah,
the
no, you
heck?
got to make it simple,
You
like
got to make it
simple
simple.
for them. So this woman, this studio, it's called The Cut Studios, and I actually saw them on TikTok during the pandemic. And I thought, oh, I'm going to sit into my favorites because I think I'm going to want to go to them. It's a Black owned, women owned
Mhm.
shop.
Mhm.
The person who owns the shop, Michelle Thomas, their website, is thecutstudios.com, and their IG is the Cut Studios, and they're located in near Santee Alley Fashion District.
Mhm.
And when I saw her videos, like I loved that it looked fun, it looked simple, easy. I noticed that everybody who took her class, they were like other people of color, mostly, there were Asians, there were Latinos,
Mhm.
there were Hispanics, they were just all kinds. And so I said, why not? Why not do it? And I know that my daughter had wanted to learn how to sew also. And so it's a 2-hour, they give different classes. There's beginner, intermediate, tailoring, there's pattern making,
Mhm.
all that stuff. And so I said, let's try. It's 2 hours, very affordable. And so I want to tell you, what the Cut Studios is, because they do more than just the teaching. So the Cut Studios is a co-working studio for fashion designers, crafters, and hobbyists. They're located in the heart of the historic LA Fashion District. The studio offers office sharing experience equipped for fashion creatives without the hassle of high cost office and workspace leases and contracts. So they have like hair cutting, like barber sections
Mhm.
too. Um, They offer cost-effective alternatives. They foster collaborations, networking, industry-based experience in a nurturing creative environment. And I can honestly tell you, yes, she was very just friendly, patient, knowledged. Um, she actually is a mobile tailor. She works in the business. Her clients include Jenna Ortega, Jordan L. Jones from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Algie Smith. He played Ralph Tresvant in BET's The New Edition story. Um, Jalen Barron, who's an actress, Showtime Shameless. So she's in the industry and she does tailoring, and she's just really good at what and patient. And they have a shop next door that's connected. It's called Auntie Funky's Closet. And so they showcase people's works, people that sew. You can buy stuff, anything, necklaces, jewelry, clothes. And every Saturday they have a sip and shop. So they have a DJ playing, and wine, drinks. You can go on the weekend and buy stuff, support them. And so what she had us making this time was a kind of like an inspired kimono, and it was made of neoprene. And they give everything to you. They have the sewing machines, the patterns, the material. And it was the reason they had us doing this neoprene jacket was it was forgiving. You can just do anything to it, and you weren't going to tear it, you weren't going to rip it. It was just forgiving. And it was really fun. Like, we had the people in our class, there was a Latina, there were like Asians, there were Filipinos. And it was just fun. It was very light, and she was very patient. She had notes on the board, and she kind of went over, showed us what everything was, what steps to do constantly, so we knew what to do. And it really flew by. Like, we actually took a little time over, but it just was so fun that it just went by really fast. So we definitely want to go back and take a tailoring class, so we can hem our own pants, make our own, tailor our own shirts. We took it mostly because it's hard to find black skirts in any retail store or thrift shop, simple black skirts that you could just wear, make it your height. I don't know why, but we cannot find any black skirts. And that was one of the reasons we took the classes, so that we could make our own things,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it inspired me also is because, my ex, he's really good at stuff. And sewing is one of the things he knows very well. And it's because he worked in the warehouses and in the factories doing shoes, sewing clothes. And so he knows how to do all that. And sometimes I ask him to help me, can you help hem my pants? Can you help, sew holes or whatever? So yeah, it kind of was I was very happy with the instructor. It was affordable. What else? I think it just was fun, and I'm glad I did it. Like, I felt very positive. I did post, they posted, for their IG, a clip of me, sewing, and it was actually very relaxing. I didn't think that it would be, but you're so focused.
Yeah.
On like making sure, everything's going, that you can't focus on anything else. It's kind of like exercise.
You can't.
Yeah. It was just very relaxing.
You have to pay attention to what you're doing.
Exactly.
You have to be in the present.
Yes. And really focused. And she even said, one thing she said was, while we were pinning, the pattern together, she's like, it's like life. You just focus on this moment in time, like one at a time. You're focusing on what's in front of you, and you don't go ahead. Don't think about, oh my God, it's not lining up. How do I just pin it in this section, each section as you go, and it'll fall together. So it was really kind of, I enjoyed it, and I will go back to do like other classes. So it was very fun. I hope, other people support her and try it, because she was really good, really good.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like, that's why I did sewing for such a long time. I think, I had to gather patience and understanding. So like the third time I tried it, I went to a similar place, and took a few classes, not that many. I just took a basic class and then I took a tailoring class. And then
Nice.
during the pandemic when I was making masks, like that was like my meditation space because you had to pay attention, you had to measure, you had to pin, you had to pay attention to what you're doing, and hours would go by. And like I was always
Wow.
doing something. So we were like, I'm so bored. I'm like I always had something to do. And then we did quilting. I've done quilting. That's like a bigger, huge thing. When I did it, it would because we'd stay there from like 10 o'clock to like 6 o'clock at night.
Wow.
Open workspace, and we just work on your quilts. And like there's an instructor, the owner there, if you needed to ask for help. And they're always asking when you come back again. But so yeah, it hours go by and you like don't even eat at some point. And I'm like, and there was one time where I got frustrated because like I couldn't like I think it was like it wasn't coming out like, either your seams or something wasn't coming out straight. And I was just like frustrated because you got to redo it. You're like, you got to redo
Yes.
it. And and they were like, Gwen, it's supposed to be fun. I was like, and I was like, like you just hear me in the corner, like, and then remember, it's supposed to be fun. And I'm like, okay. But it's true. They're like, but it is about, literally thought sewing was like life because, you know, she was just like, I know what you're doing is because you can hear everybody going, so you're like trying to keep up with all the,
Yeah.
So it's like that's why you're crooked because you need to go, wah, wah, wah,
Yes. Yeah.
get into
Slow
the
and
rhythm,
steady. Slow and
slow and
steady.
steady. And she's like, I think it's because you're trying to catch up with everybody because we would do all like the
Yes.
same pattern, but we all did it different colors and everything like that. So of course, like I was behind. And so it is definitely about life. Like you have to be in the moment. Like you can only do one piece at a time. Like, and then I said, so quilting is for crazy people. I tell her
I can
because
imagine quilting. That's
you cut the
crazy.
pieces. So you cut the pieces, you sew them together, then you cut it again. And it's like, and then you
Why'd you
sew
cut it
it,
again?
cutting
Why?
and sewing, cut it. You're like, oh my God. So if anybody gives you a quilt, you better freaking and like be grateful for it because that shit is no joke. Like it is a lot of time, a lot of love and care goes into that. Because there was one time I was part of this quilting Facebook group when I was into quilting. I'm not into it anymore, but people were like, oh, I gave this to my sister-in-law and she doesn't even use it. Or she was like, oh, I don't like the colors. Or, some people would
Yes.
complain about, and I'm like, oh my God, you don't know how long it takes. And it's it's an expensive hobby because you're not making a quilt this small. Like you're not making a
Yes.
washcloth. You know what I mean? You have to
Yeah.
get yards and yards, and you don't get just 1 yard or 2 yards, but you get different patterns, right? So you're buying bolts and bolts of like, I have so much fabric. That's why I was like, I'm gonna use all this for like, I don't know, math.
Do you put like a stuffing in the quilt to make it poofy? Can
Yeah,
you
you
or
have to. Yeah, or
oh,
else
okay, okay.
it'll be
Okay.
flat.
I didn't. Okay.
But I didn't even get to that part because it was hard. It was hard work. So I
And
just
that's huge. Like to put that thing in and to hold it while it's you
Yeah,
have
and
to have a
you're just
lot of
using a regular
space.
sewing machine. We're not using like a long arm or anything. We're using a regular
Yeah.
sewing machine. And so I did the top and then I paid her to do the rest because I don't think I was going to be able to last. Like I said, if you've ever, somebody were like, oh, you make quilts now? I want to make this quilt this about all my kids' t-shirts. I'm like, no, I don't think so. I'm not doing
Yeah.
that. I was like, I don't have enough time in the day. Like, I guess that's when you get old, right? Like when you get old,
Yeah.
you have anything else to do. It's like you have all this time in your hands, like you're making quilts. So if you've ever received a quilt from somebody, whether they bought it or they sewed it, like be eternally grateful because it's not easy to make and it takes a lot of time.
Then I should look for the quilt under my Christmas tree, Benji.
No, nobody's that special. Nobody's that special to me.
Noted. Noted.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
All right. Last thoughts.
hmm. I don't know, G. I don't know. What
I think I should give you a special assignment.
special assignment.
You need to like analyze Drake's lyrics.
Analyze. You know what? He's a simp. There's no other analyzation.
But
That's
other
it.
than a simp, though, other than that, he has problematic, toxic lyrics. Some of them.
Okay.
I know some
So,
of it is part of rap because you're there to diss everybody, right? Including the
okay.
women, right? But I couldn't even read all the threads and all the articles about his. I was like, okay, that's a separate. I don't
And
know if it applies to everybody because not everybody is a Drake, but like, yeah.
And his music's changed too, right? Over the years. Like I really like older Drake songs. And
Yeah,
I
because
don't
right now he's a
know.
lot more toxic now.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Right. So
But when is this analyzation? What is this? Is this for like just a talking point for the next time? Is it
I don't know. I don't assign homework to you because you know that was sarcastic. That was satirical. That was sarcastic. That was sarcasm.
Oh shoot. I didn't get that at all.
Sure.
I wrote it down even too. I wrote it down.
Mm,
See, I'm being so good.
I learned.
I'm being so good.
All right. Well, until next time, check out our podcast episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anywhere where you listen to podcasts, or just check out our YouTube channel.
Yes, and have a good day. And I highly recommend that people go out and go to the Cut Studios, check them out, and maybe take